Ben and Jessa Duggar Seawald are under fire once again, and this time, it's not about their parenting style or their association with the infamous Duggar legacy, though, of course, those criticisms are never too far behind. This time, it's about space. Or rather, the serious lack of it. As the couple prepares to welcome their sixth child, fans and critics alike are raising their eyebrows and asking one question: where in the world is this baby going to sleep? If you followed the Duggars at all, you know the family has long prided itself on big families and frugal living. But now, with Ben and Jessa's home already appearing overcrowded by most standards, even loyal followers are starting to voice concern. Their modest Arkansas house, once praised for its cozy charm, is now at the center of growing criticism and even mockery. So how did we get here? Let's rewind. Ben and Jessa moved into their current home back in 2019, a seemingly humble yet functional home that looked ideal for a growing family, at least at the time. Over the years, they've made several DIY renovations, repurposing rooms and maximizing space in ways that many admired. But with each new child, that space has become noticeably tighter. Jessa frequently posts room tours, home projects, and family updates on YouTube, where fans get a close-up look at how they're making it all work. But lately, the comment sections on those videos have become less about admiration and more about alarm. Currently, Ben and Jessa live in a 3-bedroom house, possibly 4, depending on how they've repurposed the layout, but either way, 6 kids in that amount of space? That's raising some serious eyebrows. One particularly viral comment on Reddit summed it up with blunt honesty. Where TF are they going to put another baby? The closets. Another critic chimed in. Their bedroom situation is already a jigsaw puzzle. Are they going to build bunk beds on the ceiling now? The backlash isn't entirely unwarranted. Based on what Jessa has shared online, the boys share one bedroom, while the girls share another. That alone would make sense for a typical family of 3 or 4 kids. But now, with baby number 6 on the way, many are questioning if the couple is simply biting off more than they can chew. Even longtime Duggar fans are beginning to question whether this minimalist approach has crossed the line into impractical or even unsafe territory. Some have pointed to how Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar, Jessa's parents, famously crammed all their kids into a single house, though their setup was admittedly larger and tailored specifically to handle a huge brood. Ben and Jessa's house? Not so much. Critics have even gone so far as to question whether the couple is prioritizing family planning at all, or simply continuing the Duggar tradition of leave it to God, regardless of reality. One viewer on YouTube wrote, Jessa always talks about contentment and simplicity, but at what point does that become a health and safety issue for the kids? And yet, amidst all the criticism, Jessa has remained largely silent. There's been no public response to the backlash, no acknowledgement of the growing online frenzy, and certainly no house tour update showing off where this new baby will sleep. This silence has only added fuel to the fire. Some speculate that Jessa might be intentionally avoiding the topic, either to protect her family's privacy or because she doesn't have a concrete plan herself. And while it's true that many families make do with less, the optics of the situation, especially for a public family so closely associated with controversy, are proving to be too hard for critics to ignore. Let's also not forget the context. The Duggar name has been heavily tainted over the years, largely due to the scandals surrounding Josh Duggar and the family's complicated relationship with religious extremism. So when Jessa, one of the more visible Duggar daughters, makes headlines, even unintentionally, it gets amplified. The conversation isn't just about bedrooms or bunk beds. It's about whether the Duggar philosophy of unlimited children and limited resources can truly stand the test of time. And more importantly, it's about what kind of environment these children are actually growing up in. One former fan wrote on Facebook, I used to admire Jessa's strength and ability to parent so many kids. But now I just feel bad for those kids. They deserve space. They deserve quiet. They deserve privacy. Others have pointed out that Jessa and Ben aren't exactly strapped for options. With their public platform, YouTube channel, and brand partnerships, they could very well afford a larger home if they chose to prioritize that. Which begs the question, why haven't they? Is it about staying humble and modest? Or is it stubbornness rooted in a belief system that refuses to acknowledge when it's time to pivot? More and more people are leaning toward the latter. A user on a Duggar-focused forum noted, "They live like it's still 2015 and they only have one kid. But it's 2025 and they're about to have 6. Something's gotta give." And yet, Jessa continues to post curated family content, sweet moments of siblings reading together, baking in the kitchen, or giggling during bath time. These are undeniably heartwarming clips, and they serve as a reminder that despite everything, Jessa truly does love her children. But that love, critics argue, shouldn't come at the expense of their comfort and well-being. One viral TikTok stitched together clips of Jessa's home tour with pointed captions highlighting the overcrowded conditions. It ended with the phrase, "Love your children enough to give them more than just each other." The video racked up hundreds of thousands of views and comments in just a few days, many echoing the same concern. So, what's next for Ben and Jessa? Will they renovate, relocate, remain silent and carry on? It's hard to say. For now, what we do know is that this 6th baby will soon be joining a family bursting at the seams, figuratively and literally. And whether that means squeezing another crib into an already full bedroom, converting a hallway nook into a nursery, or simply trusting that God will provide, it's clear that the couple's lifestyle is under more scrutiny than ever. And fans? They're watching closely. Because this isn't just a story about a big family living in a small house. It's about transparency, accountability, and the public's growing demand for influencers, especially those rooted in controversial ideologies, to practice what they preach. In the meantime, the questions persist. Where is baby number 6 going to sleep? How long can this tight setup last? And how much longer can Ben and Jessa ignore the elephant in the very, very crowded room? As one commenter put it bluntly, this isn't about judgment. It's about reality. And reality is, 6 kids in that house just doesn't make sense. The clock is ticking. The due date is approaching. And unless there's a secret addition being built off camera or a surprise move in the works, Ben and Jessa may soon be forced to make a public decision, or risk alienating their already divided fan base. For now, though, all we can do is watch, wait, and keep refreshing Jessa's Instagram feed for clues. But one thing is certain. The internet hasn't forgotten, and the pressure is only building. Because in the world of the Duggars, even the most personal choices are always on full display. And this time, that choice is between maintaining appearances or making room.